Great. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Azo, no special intro. I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome YouTube, welcome Twitch. For any of you guys who are new here to the channel, just a friendly reminder, make sure to go ahead and like, sub, share, follow, all of that nonsense. Helps the channel grow. And for all of you returning viewers, welcome back. Disclaimer, I am an 18+ channel, so just be prepared. At the end of the day, don't come into my space and complain about me. Thanks. Alright, let me go ahead and get my stuff set up here. It should be relatively quick, and then I will be right with you all. I make my modifications. So, for anybody who has been following the situation, let me give a short recap on what exactly has been going on with the stream and how there's been all kinds of issues. So the stream itself has been fine, but Daggerfall kinda goofed up really hard recently. I've been messing around with some of the files and stuff like that, so it should be fixed. I don't know if it's actually going to be fixed, but it should. If my thing is correct, as soon as I actually open it up, start the gameplay and everything, it should give me the quest to do the whole thing. I'm gonna have to run there and I'm gonna have to run back, so I'm gonna have to repeat doing this quest that I've already done, but it should fix it. It's gonna add on a few more days. Your Thyla hunt failed. You hate terror birds? I am so sorry. I completely forgot about... Did I even say sorry? Did I say sorry? Well, I'm sorry to hear that your thing... I totally forgot terror birds existed outside of the redwoods, so that was my fault. I should have thought about that. I assume you didn't approach from swamp side. And my day's been pretty good. I think this should be fixed. So we're gonna get right on into it and check to see how this is gonna work. Okay, so if I have done things correctly, if I have made the proper updates, how this should work is as soon as I pop in here, it should give me... It should just pop up the quest. Whoever should drop a letter off, and it should tell me to go to some place. That's not fixed. That's, okay. Fix file. Dragon Break. This is where it should go. So, this is just prior to this. 12.3 Frostfall. Okay. So, this is prior to anything else, any of my crazy updates and stuff. This is just after I made some changes to the files. I haven't gone anywhere or anything, so this is the proper... Here's what we're going to do. Delete. And delete. Fix file. So we're going to consider this Dragon Break here. So, I should get a quest as soon as I load in if it worked. Haha! Success! Dryly hands you a letter and stalks off without saying a word. So, this will not fix some of the other ones that I have in my inventory, so I should still have a whole bunch of crazy shit in here from the previous stuff, but... so there was an Alpha Carno, so I went to the other way in the woods, and bam! Two 130 birds and a level 15, so there is no escape. I am so sorry to hear that. Flarkern Farmstead in Sentinel. Flarkern Farmstead. Okay, let's find out where the heck this is. Homes. Find. Homestead? Flirk? Farnkern, maybe? Let's start at the... Hey, he happens to be at the bottom left. Okay. Flarkern. So let's try Flar. F-L-A-R. Okay, so it does recognize it, which is good. High visible or what? You can't see me? I mean, I can see you now. Yeah, so multi-stream's been having some issues lately and stuff, so if I don't acknowledge your stuff, I do apologize. There's been some problems, but I am happy to announce I should have fixed the issue. So now the quest is back on track. It took a little bit of modifying and testing out and stuff like that, but I think I have saved my run. So I don't have to start over. I will have a fuck ton of unnecessary quest items in my inventory. But it should have flagged properly. Now all I need to do is run to this bottom left thing. And I am currently here, so we're just gonna head straight on south from here. Yeah, that should solve my issue. So I'm starting a new run. Let's see how it goes. I wish you the best of luck. If you're having to do, like, a hardcore run, like, I would suggest just taking your time and making as much small progress as you can, rather than worrying so much about like, trying to leap in and get stuff done. I would go in with the intention to just kind of batten down your hatches. Get yourself some Moss Chop, get yourself some Delos. Put down any wrecks you can find. Yeah. But I do wish you the best of luck. Sounds like it'll be a fun run. Talking about fun run, this fog is not fun. Oh my god, that's how much health I regen? Wow, that is a ton of health. I'll be able to just stand around and watch my health immediately skyrocket. Alright, so, it means that it's going to take a long time. You guys are going to see me cross the water, grab this quest, cross the water, go up to the thing, grab the stuff, and then have to run all the way back. But, so let's see. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5. So this might add roughly about 5 days to my completion time here, I think. Yeah, this is probably going to add about 5 days to my completion time, so... Yep. Can't do much about it. It's just how the cookie crumbles. I had a trap for a level 110 file already. Damn. Yeah, terror birds are nasty. They come out of nowhere. Just glad the quest got fixed. It took a lot. It took a lot of messing around to get that quest fixed. And the funny part was that, like, I was doing all of these changes and making all of these adjustments and everything to these quests. And then out of nowhere, after I've been sitting there trying to figure it all out, a lady just, like, I get a freaking letter and it just sends me and I'm like, heck yeah. So it kind of fixed itself. I must have made some adjustments to it properly to allow it to queue up as a quest, but... yeah, I'm just glad I can get back on track. It is going to take a little bit more running and everything back and forth, but... Are you talking me or are you talking to Diego? Because, I mean, for the past few days, I've been, like, complaining about how broken my quest is. Okay, so this game is notorious for having a very hard main quest, right? Because there's timers, there's invisible timers, and active timers all over the place for this quest. And if you fuck up one timer, it makes the main quest completely impossible to finish. So, one of my quests had like a stupidly long timer. But I went over to do the quest, and then... Or I went to and did the quest, got the item it told me to, did another quest since it was, like, it was more efficient to do it that way, then went back to turn in the first quest, only to find out the quest and the quest item deleted itself. If that happens, the game pretty much nukes itself out of existence, and there's nothing to be done. So, I would have completely screwed it. So, I started the quest to try and, like, I started the quest to try and get it to work. It gave me some of the quest items, but then didn't really work. So I forced the quest items in my inventory, and it screwed the game, and then I tried to reload, and then it was completely... It basically, to make a long story short, it just screwed the game. So I almost had to restart everything? Yeah. So I did some file manipulation to see where the problem was. And I had been testing some of the updates and stuff that needed. So I kept going in, going out, testing to see if quests were working, seeing what was getting removed, seeing what was getting put in. It took a lot of work to go in and get it to work. And then just suddenly, I make a small change, and voila, it's like, hey, some person delivers me a letter. So at that point, I realized what I needed to do. That's why I deleted those 2 save files in the very beginning, because they were me fixing everything. So this save file is back to its pure no fast travel, no nothing saves. So we're back to running everywhere. I mean, I wouldn't say I had to restart everything, but the closest save that I have was a save that was, like, on March 13th or March 19th or something. So I would have lost a full month of progress in the game. So that would have been pretty problematic. And talking about that, what we're gonna do is... Oh, that's please fix. Yeah, we'll keep please fix. And we'll just, Yeah, we're officially on the Dragon Break save file. My weekend was pretty good. We finally got around to building one of our first Gundam models. So from here, I have a few Gundam models or a few mobile suits that I'd like to put together. The first is going to be a set of, for anybody who knows, like, Gundam and everything, is going to be some Zaku 2s. You know, that typical green thing that you see when you think of Gundam. But I'm going to be building a bunch of Zakus. I think I have 4 standard Zakus, 1 sniper unit, and the Char Aznable's red Zaku suit as well. So I have got 6 units total that I'd like to build. I'm probably only going to build the 4 Zakus, then work on the sniper and Char's unit. But Yeah, it was pretty good. It took, I think the first one we built, which was the Wing Zero, took 4 hours? Yeah, it took 4 hours. But it also had a lot of stickers and stuff involved with it. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have taken so long if it weren't for the stickers, but... Blighthorn Steel Mace. What's going on? Is that swimming or flying? It is running. This is no swimming. Isn't it too fast? Well, Blighthorn, let me... I guess I'll give you the formal introduction to here. Oh, I'm not even using all my equipment. Hold on, 1 second. Let me let me properly introduce you to the builds that is my character. I currently have a 505% running speed. It isn't too fast. I don't have any adjustments in my files. There's no increased speeds or anything. It is purely just based off of my equipment. So my character, every single item they have, at the minimum, has enhanced running skill, and that's like amulets, you know, these little crystal things, my shield itself, enhanced running, my cloak, all of it has enhanced running, at the very minimum. It gives me, I think, 340 or 350% extra running speed. Plus I get bonuses. I have the 100 from maxing out my running, plus an extra bonus from being a werewolf. Oh yeah, and the bonus for being Master of Running. So I think it's 105% plus like 40% or something like that, and then 300, between 340 and 360. I don't remember. Is it a kind of water walking? Yeah. So I've been working on this particular water walking spell for a long time. And when I first started the water walking spell, like, I think it lasted like 3 minutes, and since I've been leveling it up, and it had like, I think, an increase of like 5 or something like that. So I've been casting this water walking spell almost non-stop for a long time. Just so that way you understand, literally I have leveled up my thaumaturgy off of just this water walking spell. And last episode, I literally spent half an hour casting this water walking spell. Resting, casting, resting, casting, resting, casting. Because I was trying to fix my file. One of the quest lines decided to delete itself along with the quest item, so I had to do a whole bunch of crazy file manipulation. I had to force times to go by. Yeah, I spent a good portion of my day trying to figure out what to do with the file. And now it's done. And now I can continue on my merry way. I've actually already done this quest, but I have to go redo it to force my thing back up. And since you are here, I'll give you the whole spiel. I broadcast Monday through Saturday, so if you ever feel like seeing where I am at any given time, feel free to pop in. Yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, it can definitely be boring sometimes, but the chat really makes it worth it. If you guys are entertaining and you guys throw stuff out there for me to talk about, I'm entertaining, and I will definitely indulge most of it. Unless I can feel the chat is being overwhelmed by a troll. Then I will shut that down. But yeah, welcome. Hopefully you become a regular, and welcome to the family, I suppose. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit. Usually it takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to actually cross the ocean at these speeds. And I'm aiming to go ahead and get over here to the farmstead. So I assume it will probably take me an entire day to get from where I am currently to where I need to go. But yeah, totally doable. Totally doable. Just a little over the top. I think every time I cast my water walking spell, it lasts for like 15 to 20 minutes. And since I cast it for like half an hour non-stop, like, there is so much water walking. I probably never have to cast water walking again for the entirety of the series. Or at least for the entirety of this game. Probably. Asterisk. Yeah, I think from here on, I'm not going to worry so much about trying to enhance my restoration. I think what I'll do is any of the items that I need to go ahead and update, I'll put on Enhanced Running Skill, as always. Regen Health all the time. And Featherweight, and then Enhance Mercantile. That way I can get more money anytime I sell stuff. Because at this point, I'm just worried about amassing as much money as I can, rather than anything else. I mean, it's totally possible to, like, buy every home in the game at some point, but I just don't have that kind of cash. And if I have that kind of money, that's fine. And if I don't, that's cool too, because the whole point is to just finish the game rather than anything else. Enhancing my restoration skill doesn't really seem like it's affecting anything. It's probably just because my restoration, like, spell is really fucking Weenie Hut Jr. weak. Yeah, we'll be here on the water just running for probably about an hour, hour and a half. So I hope you guys like the ocean. I mean, technically it's a day, not even, like, an ocean. But who's keeping track, right? Wow, I love how I immediately decided, hey, you know what, this is really cool. I should probably learn how to do some coding, right? And then Humble Bundle immediately is like, hey, we've got this programming boot camp. We've got all of these books about programming languages that you can go ahead and learn. Why don't you check it out? Like, Humble Bundle, what are you doing? Humble Bundle is great, and I mean, they give a lot of stuff for the price The only issue is that even though you are, quote, donating to Humble Bundle for the items that you're getting, you cannot write off donation to Humble Bundle as tax deductible. I found that out when I was trying to go ahead and tax deduct them, but which, don't get me started on taxes. I'm not a very big fan of taxes, and it's not because I don't think taxes are necessary, but because I always end up owing money. So, I don't like it. Taxes and I are not friends, because I think this is, what, the third, fourth year in a row I've owed money in taxes so far? Should be able to get about 3 casts. Maybe 4 casts, because it's only taking off a sliver off every time I cast now. Run 2 is gone. I got surprised by a gator that... Oh no! Immediately? Wow. Sarko out of nowhere, huh? That's crazy. Hit you in the ocean. Hold on. I can only think of one place... You're on the island, right? I can only think of one place where Sarkos would be roaming around the ocean. And... yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's a place that intermingles with the small swampy area on the far right side of the map. Yeah, Sarkos tend to roam around that area. That's the only place I could think of them being Sarkos there, so... Yeah, because I remember when we were playing, somebody had their base there, and we were traveling through all of their tames, and out of nowhere a fucking Sarko attacks me in the middle of it, because I couldn't see it, because all they had were, like, they had all these dunks just chilling around, so I didn't see the Sarko sneaking up on me. Yeah, I know exactly where you're at on the map. Because it's right near Metal Island, so that's why I picked here. Yeah, it's a decent place. It does have a lot of decent resources and stuff. I don't know. I found that out of all the places we could have built, I really think that we had a little golden area where we built. It was far enough to the swamp where we didn't have random swamp creatures attacking us, but close enough that we could go to the swamp if we wanted to. It was close enough to Green Ob that if we needed to go there for any reason, it was right there. And close enough to the ocean that if we needed to go to the ocean, we could go there. Yeah. So I really like the spot that we originally had. I felt like, yes, it was a little bit of a distance to go to anywhere in the snow and stuff like that, but it was way better than having to deal with some of the more unforgiving locations. I'm sure there were better places. But it was also really great in the beginning because once we packed up and I found out where the swamp cave was, getting crystal was pretty invaluable, and all we had to do was just, you know, go over to the swamp cave, head into that little entrance area, grab some crystal, and head on back. Hey, welcome back, Chris. How you doing today? Traveling on the island of Bavaria or something. I managed to fix my file. It took for fucking ever. A lot of file manipulation. What is this? Hey, Imper. It is Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, the second in the Elder Scrolls series. You know, Skyrim. But yeah, so it took forever for me to fix the file. But I did it. So I am on my way to Sentinel to go pick up that quest, to run all the way back up top of the map, to go finish that dungeon, to run all the way to the bottom of the map, to finally finish this quest. Yeah. It's long. I think this officially marks, it's either a couple days out, a month and a half that I have been running across this game. So, Imper, the map itself is the size of the UK. Like, not even an exaggeration. It takes me hours to run from one town to the next. Or it normally would if I wasn't running so damn fast. Yeah, the map is huge, and if you were running at, like, normal speeds and everything, yeah, it's the size of the UK. I think the guy who did it, who ran the whole thing, he said it took him about 62 to 70 hours to cross the entirety of the game. So, but this is the world's first, you know, no fast travel run, so there's that. Yes, yeah. He's actually, when I approached this, he's the first person that I found and asked them about it. I remember a guy did it, 72 hours. Yeah. So it's definitely, like, it's definitely doable to run across the entire place. Once I found out you could run everywhere, that immediately cemented this as the thing to do. But I have yet to find anybody who's done a no fast travel run of this game so far. Like, I've looked left, right, up, down, and I've had people look for it and try and find one. Because that's the only reason I'm claiming this as the first no fast travel run. Because there's no evidence that there was one done beforehand. Other than that, I wouldn't. You know, if I happen to not be the first fast travel run, or no fast travel run, I have no problem saying I'm not. But until somebody can prove me otherwise. I think there is another guy who is attempting to do it, but his progress is definitely slow. Let's just put it that way. His progress is a lot slower than me, so I have slingshotted my way to completing it before him. No offense to him, if he you know, picks up his game and we start racing, I would be more than happy to do it. Did some no fast travel playthrough 10 years ago, but I didn't do the main quest, just roleplay. Yeah, and that's what I noticed. A lot of people who play Daggerfall, they don't really do the main quest. They just play the game. Because the main quest sucks. Let's be honest. After having done it myself, or at least mostly done it myself, all I've done is run. I am anything that you want to, like, throw or something away, I would have just donated all. Okay, well, this weekend, they open at 10, so we'll head over to Salvation Army and donate everything at 10. Anything that you don't want, just, it'll all be in a pile, and it will all get it donated. I can also donate that paint, too. Okay. Totally agree. The last dungeon, especially, I did it once, and it was enough. I am not looking forward to it. Everybody... Well, I don't know. It's not... I guess it can't be too bad. A lot of people have warned me about a lot of things in games. Like, everybody has told me these dungeons are supposed to be tough, and I think I've come across one dungeon that I've struggled with. And it was only because... Well, I guess 2 dungeons. The first was some bitch got herself caught in a trap door, and I had to go release her. And the second was they put a scrap of paper in the middle of a dungeon, and my job was to go find it. And I'm like, okay. So those 2 dungeons really sucked, but so far I haven't had any problem otherwise. Also, the one where the lady got trapped in a dungeon, that was my fault. I accepted a quest for the Mages Guild that I shouldn't have. I found this area. The last one is just confusing for the sake of it. Anything, it doesn't make sense. I am looking forward to just navigating completely blind. I found this area where it's right besides the Arctic, but no other creatures would attack me, and it's really beautiful. There's no resources there, so it's not a good starting area. Right beside the Arctic. No creatures. I assume, were you on the right side or the left side? Because on the left side, I remember there was a big prairie area that didn't have a lot of resources out there, but did have a lot of good, like, dinos you could get, like Argentavis, Pteranodons, and small stuff with the occasional Rex. My only problem was, like, Purlovias, or not Purlovias, Pulmovas, the scorpion things. Where are you reading the other comments? Oh, on YouTube. That's where. I multi-stream on both Twitch and YouTube. My original fan base came from YouTube. I built my community on the art community, but mainly I'm a challenge channel more than anything else. I do the ridiculous shit no one wants to do. So I get a lot of my art people who come in and talk art, and I've done almost everything there is to do. Yeah, those things. Pulmascorpius. I've done almost everything there is to do in ARC, so I'm a very good repository for ARC information. But yeah, I try and talk to people on both sides, just because I know that there are people who come here just because they want to talk ARC, and there are people who come here just to see what I'm doing and everything. But I've always told people that I try and communicate with my fan base regardless of what side they're on. What matters to me most really is the community. Diego from YouTube says hello to Twitch. But yeah, I try and do my best to communicate with the community as a whole, because who knows, maybe I might get big enough where I'm unable to do that, and mods might have to take over talking to people and stuff like that. But in the meantime, while I still have the capability, I'm gonna try and talk to everybody that I can.
Is the circle on, or is the line?
Line is closed circuit. Line is on. Yes. Chris Nihilus says hello, YouTube. Feel like I'm gonna become an intermediary here. But yeah, I always try and talk to people. Surprisingly, despite the fact that I seem super outgoing, I was an introvert by nature. This is taught behavior. This is something I had to learn myself. It was kind of difficult. I was always a very shy kid. I spent many hours looking in the mirror, watching the way that I talked, and seeing how I looked when I talked to people, and teaching myself social skills. I was a very book smart kind of kid, so if I wanted to learn anything, there was a book for it. So I taught myself to be social. What? The microwave? Yes, we did. Okay. It should, but it might also be because it doesn't have a water thing in it. Yeah. Okay, then, I mean, I guess we'll donate it. We'll have to make multiple trips, but I think we can do it. I get you completely. I was pretty much the same and had to become social. It's one of those things that, like, when people talk about social anxiety and stuff, it's not that I don't understand, it's that I always find it hard when people say, I feel socially anxious, but then they don't go out of their way to learn how to be a little bit more social. You don't need another person to learn to be more social. You need another person to improve becoming social. You can practice these things in your house. It's like how a comedian goes up to their dog and, like, tells dumb jokes, or goes up to their significant other and says, hey, check out this joke. You know, it's good to have a sounding board, but to teach yourself the skill, you just need to learn the skill. And then, you know, if you want to learn violin, you pick up a violin and you learn how to play it. If you want to see if you're any good at violin, you take the violin out to go to somewhere else to see if people like what you're doing. So it's one of those things I always try and tell people, look, becoming social... Frick, there's another thing under the water. Becoming social isn't hard. What do you mean?
I thought it was a coincidence. I plugged that in, and this light turned off.
You plugged what in?
The Culligan. And then this turned off at the exact same time. I'm like, oh, weird. This isn't turning back on. There's no power to it right now.
Oh. So, one of the things is...
Oh,
no.
I'm resetting it.
There are enemies nearby. Cool. That's fine. We got plenty of magic here. You became an entertainer and mainly your life like this. That's pretty cool. What kind of stuff do you do? Comedian, public speaking, music. So let's see how far we are here. Still not on there. I'm probably gonna open ocean, so I won't be able to see myself at all. Yeah. So it'll be like a little bit more before I can see where I am on the map. I was first a musician and then a pub owner, and I do magician work. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I'll give you that. I mean, that's a hell of a lot more interesting at a gaming pub. Ah, that's cool. We used to have a really good gaming. So organizing games was my thing. We used to have a really good gaming place out this direction, but it shut down mainly because, if I'm not mistaken, there were two things that led to it shutting down. Number one was that there was a big controversy with the owner, and there were like two groups of gamers, and one was the actual owner of the place, and the other was a group of people that actually went there, and the two of them got into a big beef, and it just turned into a whole fucking like problem, and the other group started trying to convince everybody not to go to their place. The second reason was that another place opened up that exclusively sold, like, comic books and Magic the Gathering and stuff, and they couldn't host games, but they had access to a lot more materials and stuff than the gaming place did. So it ended up shutting down, which is really unfortunate because there's only a couple places to go to game around here, and I really wouldn't want to. Hey, just got here. Make any progress? What do you mean? There is no breakers in here. Why? Did you short it?
I mean, that was working now, so...
Not anymore?
Like,
did they just stop?
I plugged that in and this like turned off at the same time, and I just came over and checked it, and it's not.
So it shorted. Okay. Yeah, there's no breakers here, so I'll just have to put in a ticket. I'm not sure, hun. Without going over there to actually look at it, I wouldn't be able to tell you. If you'd like, I can go over and take a look. Sorry guys, we're trying to go ahead and move some stuff in the house. So I apologize if you're hearing our casual conversations here about organizing the house. Just got here making any progress. Hello, Dominic. Welcome. Yes. I guess, so I managed to fix it, I think. It told me the location of where I need to go for the quest log, so I am heading there. It's back over in Sentinel, but it did manage to go ahead and give me a letter, and in my fixing files, it looks like the agent was there after I managed to go ahead and do some fixes and everything. So, yeah. I think I fixed it, but we're gonna find out eventually. I haven't done a magic show in a long time. It's easier when I had a pub. You could just entertain customers. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. It's probably a hell of a lot easier when you have your own personal space to do business and stuff like that. See, I wouldn't mind doing something like that, but, like, number one, I don't have the time to, like, as much as I'd love to go ahead and be a business owner, I just don't have the time to go ahead and do it. My day job, I do accounting for the government, so it absorbs a lot of my time, and like, for all the money, I live outside of DC, so, yeah. I most of my money is spent towards rent and keeping everything afloat. I mean, I make enough money, but it's difficult because prices are always going up. That's great. Hope it works out. I'm hoping so too. If I go over there and she says, "Nah, fuck you, I ain't gonna give you your thing," I'm gonna be a little upset. Accounting for the government, so you're evil? I wouldn't say that. I mean, I don't think... Listen, I don't know why everyone goes ahead and says that if you work for the government, you must be evil. There are plenty of people who work for the government who are just low-grade minions. You know, not all of us sprout horns and wings and think of world domination. Some of us push the beans around and say, "Oh, master, you can cast the spell!" You know. But, you know, I mean... Whether you are working for a mage's guild, whether you are helping out the Knights Templar, whether you are a Freemason, or whether you are working for an evil overlord, there is an accountant for every position. It's just one of those fields that is ubiquitous with necessity. I mean, hell, people do their own accounting all the time. Checking balance ledgers, business owners they have their own accountants and stuff like that. You know, kids trying to save up for candy at the shop, hell, they're learning how to account. So there's always going to be somebody who's got to do it. You know, I just happen to do it for a living, that's all. You want to be an evil overlord? Seems like your thing? Well, it might be a little hard to do the evil overlord in this day and age. As you can see, evil overlording is not really paying off for any of the evil overlords who may or may not be invading a particular country. You know, it's kind of hard to do that nowadays. Seems like the world frowns upon it. So those two outlets are gone now? Yeah, but it means it's something that has to be adjusted. Your country has one. What country are you? Seems to be doing fine. What country are you in? Please don't say America. Italy? Okay. I was gonna be like, I was about to have this conversation. I unfortunately do not know anything about Italian politics. I have not followed it closely enough to really have that kind of conversation. So I will just... Fat can't fast travel when enemies are nearby. What do you mean? Oh, I must have been passing over a fish or something. Yeah, I know a couple things about various countries and stuff, but I haven't done very much my laptop is currently not plugged in. That means that breaker is... That's out. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Hold on, guys. I gotta fix something. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. It looks like when... It looks like some, a breaker blew here, so we have to figure out what exactly happened and which one's blue. So, yeah, sorry if I'm, over here, like, trying to figure out what's going on. If I pop off, it's probably because I'm trying to figure out where. Well, I guess Luft is trying to figure out exactly where. Which breakers are working and which breakers aren't working. Yeah, we were just trying to go ahead and test some of the stuff since we're moving things. And I guess when we tried to plug in... How can you rest on water? It's because I have water walking. The water walking skill has a lot associated with it that I guess as a newbie to Daggerfall, I don't have any preconceived notions, so I kind of just approach things with what I think would work. But as long as I have water walking is treating the ground as though, or treating the water as though it is now a flat surface. So I can rest on the water because water walking considers it as flat ground. Hey, I didn't write the coding. I'm just taking advantage of it, that's all. You are, getting close, apparently. What, getting close to... Are you talking, like, getting close to the land? Oh, hold on. Where the hell's my dot? It doesn't even show me where I'm at. Seems so. Yeah, it's not even showing me where I'm at right now. Well, let me make sure I'm still here. I still exist. Nope, exit. Yeah, I guess my character doesn't exist right now, so I have no idea if I'm close or not. I just know I am running, and I will get to land eventually. When I start getting close, I'll actually see it. I'll see the land off in the distance, but... I mean, I've done this run a few times. It usually takes about an hour to an hour and a half to get from one coast to the other. When I first did it, it took like 4-something hours, I think. Well, 3 or 4 hours, I'm not sure, but it took a long time. Now, not so much. Used to be scary, now, not so scary. Yeah, it'll just be here for a while. This is pretty much the normal run for me. This is what 90% of my episodes look like now, running from one place to the next. I just wish that there was, like, boats that I could actually, like, use. I mean, it makes sense to purchase a boat when you're doing fast travel and stuff, but, like, mainly it doesn't really make any sense to own your own boat in this game. I mean, you don't even have to own a boat at all. Even if you were to go ahead and own your own boat, it doesn't like do anything. It doesn't change anything. It makes a location you can like fast travel to like a house, but that's about it. You can just rent a boat or take a boat when you need to fast travel from one place to the next. So it's the only reason why I don't have a boat here is because it's considered fast travel. Other than that, I totally would have just taken my boat, gone somewhere. Houses are way overpriced. For the money of a small house, I can live in a tavern for 130 years. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't make sense. The one thing that houses do provide is that when you drop items in a house, they don't disappear. So if you were to put a whole bunch of stuff into a house, you could basically use it as pretty much endless storage. That's the one good thing that houses provide, that you won't be able to get in a tavern. You drop something out in the wild, you can consider it gone, but at least in a house, you can drop it and then come back to that pile of whatever later. Do I show up on the grid yet? Nope. Still so far in open water, it doesn't know what to do with me. Usually it would, usually it would show up at some point, but, like, I guess I'll just have to wait until I get closer. Come on now. Come on, land. You're almost there, I think. Unless somehow I screwed up and now I'm in the middle of the ocean and my game doesn't recognize where I... Oh. Hold on. So it says I'm somewhere. No. It says I am somewhere. West. Oh! I think I'm way out in the ocean. That might be my issue. I think I understand what the heck is going on. We are Argonian. Are they saltwater or freshwater? I think they're both. If I'm not mistaken, the Argonians don't really differentiate, because there are some Argonians that like freshwater, and there are some Argonians that prefer saltwater. Plus, marshes tend to be a mixture of salt and fresh, depending on where you're at. If there's tributaries and stuff like that. So it could be either. I went west, and I think that's my problem, is I needed to go east. I think the reason I am off the map is because I'm somewhere, like, out there. Because I'm dumb. One day, somebody will recognize that I'm going the wrong way and tell me I'm doing something wrong. I mean, hell, it's my fault, nobody else's, so... The land ho. There's no land anywhere. I'm literally off the map at this point, because I have, like... I am somewhere here. Above the waters. Above this place, but not directly at Sentinel. So, let's see. Maybe I am here? No. I'm somewhere, like, way out here. This is crazy. I've run my ass all the way out here somewhere. That's my mistake for just going the wrong way. I'll hit land at some point. In the distance, you can see the trees. This sounds more like a roleplay thing. I'll play along, though, because... even though there's mountains and stuff, like, land would show up on the horizon before it actually shows up off on that distance. That's more of, like, backdrop land. It's like imaginary land, but... yeah. Yeah, it's like a world wall that you never reach. It's just there for backdrop purposes. Hmm? Okay. Oh, man. Why do I always do this? How do I always end up, like, going some wrong distance? Some wrong direction? Run 3, gone to a berry. Well, shit, you got caught in the water. Listen, what I would suggest you do is try and get yourself a Beelzebufo. Not that it's going to help you out very much, but Beelzebufos, I feel, are probably one of the best scout dinos you can get, especially early on. You can outrun pretty much anything. And basically what you'll do is just take your Beelzebufo, put a couple points into stamina, couple points into your health, and just slap some speed on that thing. Where's the sea monsters? Kraken? I don't know. You're gonna find yourself a Tuso somewhere, and it's gonna eat you. But yeah, I think even though it won't be able to exactly keep you safe, he was on land and outsped you. Damn. Listen, you gotta get away from that, like, from that area. It sounds like you keep going down to swamplands and getting just eaten. Maybe a Paracera might help. Let's see, why not grab yourself an early game Moss Chops? Or, you know, as Luff said, not be by the swamp. But, I mean, an early game Moss Chops could keep you... Oh, that scared me for a second. Think you should turn a bit south? Well, the issue right now is that I ran all the way west. Yeah, you're probably right, though. I do probably need to go ahead and turn myself south here. I mean, if I hit land, at least I'll know I'm going the right direction, right? So going straight southeast will at least put me onto land, even if it's not in the right location. You're right. You win this round, Chris. I've tried. They all want prime meat or flowers. Yeah, that's just kind of how it is. You just gotta find that one that just wants berries. I'm never lucky with Moss Chops. I don't think many people are lucky with Moss Chops. You know, you'll always get to almost the end, and then the Moss Chops is like, oh, I would like some cooked primed meat, missus. Or it'll be like, you know, I'm feeling a taste of giant bee honey if you have any of that lying around in your pocket. Yeah. Would you please give me a dollop of honey, dearest? I love this. Whenever a Moss Chops does that shit, like, I spend the next, like, 5 minutes making them out to be some bougie-ass Moss Chops. Alright, am I on the map? Am I here yet? Can I be visualized? Still nothing. Okay. Ooh, what if I have gone so far southwest that I am no longer, like... I guess I'm... What if I'm, like... Okay, I guess I'm not here. I'm still above it, so... That's good. I thought maybe I went flying off into another zone, but... I'm just hoping I don't have to, like, fucking reload my game. Just because my dumbass decided I was gonna go one place or another, so... I mean, southeast it is. We'll figure it out. Maybe I went under the map. Or past the map. Well, we'll just let it coast for another, like, 15 minutes and check again. Hello, Knight. Welcome. How are you doing today? Nice to see you here. If it takes a couple seconds to go ahead and hear me, you know, my latency, I've made some adjustments, but I'm still trying to make sure it's better, I guess. So it may take a couple minutes for it to actually get to you. But welcome to the channel. How are you doing? How was your weekend? And what brings you here? Obviously, you probably saw the whole no fast travel thing. That's what brings most people here. To watch the insanity that is me just running across the ocean for, like, hours. How about you? I'm doing fantastic. I managed to go ahead and fix the game-breaking glitch that afflicted my game over, like, the past couple days. Well, I guess more than a couple days. I guess this will be day 4. But I did manage to go ahead and fix my glitch. Basically, it deleted one of my main quests, along with the quest item. And trying to fix it only caused all kinds of issues, so a lot of testing, file manipulation, and stuff later, I am finally back on my main quest. Yeah. So. Yeah, I saw the no fast travel, I was like, oh my god, I have to join. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. I have done the entirety of the game, no fast travel. I'm currently on the last few legs of the game itself. The quest that glitched is the one that I'm on currently, which is the Ancient Watcher. I had gotten the quest, gone up to Yakalon, gotten the item, then, since I had the Daggerfall lady to go to Orsinium and talk to Gortwog, I delivered the letter to Gortwog, got the letter for the king, then went back down to Sentinel, only to find the quest and the item had deleted itself. So, a few days later, here I am back on this after running through a whole bunch of fixes and delivering the Daggerfall letter. I am heading back to Sentinel to go re-grab the quest, to run all the way to the top of the map to re-grab the item, to run all the way back down to the bottom of the map to go turn in it again. So, yeah, fun. So you came in at a good time, just after all my fixes and everything, so you don't have to sit here in the nothingness of space while I try and figure out how to file manipulate my game to fix it. Dang, you're like almost done. Close. After this, let me take a look at my thing. Actually, hold on one second. I need to figure out if I'm on the map, if I have fixed my journey. I am still somewhere. I should be visible on the map somewhere. Come on, there's no way. Alright, we're gonna head straight east because I still have yet to see myself anywhere. And I'm kind of worried that I might have run under the map or something like that. Because I definitely should have hit shore by now. So, yeah, we're gonna correct east and just try running this way for a while. And then we'll try running more south again. So, after this quest, I am almost done. I finished off the Orsinium part. So, I have 4 quests left. It's pretty much, like, it... So, I'm running at 505% speed due to all, like, the equipment and stuff I have on me that's enchanted. It makes it a hell of a lot faster than it normally would be, but it doesn't change the fact that occasionally I run into issues. Like my character ran so far to the west, they don't know what they're doing anymore, or where they are. There's also a part of the ocean I can't actually see myself on the map, although I know I exist. Yeah, see, like right here, I'm in this really weird zone where it knows that I'm here, it knows that I'm somewhere on the map, but it can't actually tell me where I am at on the map. And since it doesn't recognize it on the larger map, I just kind of have to hope I am in the right location. Let's go, we're gonna go hard south, with a slight turn on east. Maybe that'll at least get me on the map somewhere. But yeah, after this, I'll have a couple things that I need to do. Once I turn in this quest, which is going to take probably about 4 or 5 days, I need to run out to Isle of Belfaria to go get the ghost cocaine, to go give that to Lysandras' ghost in the tomb. Then I'm going to need to go ahead and go get the totem, turn in the totem, or do the last dungeon and then turn in the totem? I don't exactly remember the order, but turn in the totem or the dungeon, whichever comes first. And then go do the dungeon or turn in the totem, whichever comes first. But yeah, so I'm about 4 or 5 quests away, I think, from completing it. In total, I think maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And if I'm not mistaken, this will mark me as the first person to do it with no fast travel. So, I won't say it's always entertaining, but if you've got conversations, I am ready to have them. And I am more than happy to talk to anybody about whatever. See, this is crazy. I should definitely see something by now. I hope I don't have to, like... I seriously hope I don't have to, like, restart my thing. If in another 20 minutes or so I don't see no map markers, how do you know where you're going? Or how do you know where you are? Okay, so you can't see it right now because clearly the map is kind of bugged and not telling me exactly where I'm at. But normally you'd see a crosshair that would tell me where I'm at. I am not sure if I went the wrong direction or the right direction. I may have to go ahead and restart the whole journey across the water because I fucked up somewhere along the way and went west instead of east. So I might have thrown myself into the dark abyss and now I am going to endlessly be running across the water. But we'll find out in 20 minutes whether I am on shore or whether I have gone under the actual visible map. So. But normally there would be a map marker so I'd know where I'm at. It's just while I'm in the ocean, I kind of have to figure out where I am running from once I leave shore. Head in that direction and hope that I actually hit land, which is the perils of crossing the ocean. It's normally not too hard. I can just say, oh, I am headed south, and then make corrections out southeast, southwest, whichever way I'm going, and then just eventually hit land. I mean, it is possible that you went under the map, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I think I went west for a while and might have just gotten in the wrong place, but like I said, 20 minutes will tell me exactly where I need to go. If I am not within at least visual range in 20 minutes, I may have to just load my last save and start from Daggerfall shore to run back over to Sentinel. I think I should be okay. Maybe I'm just overreacting because I can't see myself and I get really paranoid. coast. So, how is everybody doing today? Anybody got any big plans for the week? I know it's a Monday and everything, and nobody really knows how their week's gonna go, but maybe somebody's got something cool coming up. I don't have too much going on. You know, I got work. That's about it. I saw a gap in the water. A glitch. Oh no, I hope there isn't like a thing. That'd be pretty terrible. I mean, if I went a little too far, like I said, we'll give it a bit. Going to the movies tomorrow. Nice. What are you going to go see? We saw Sonic yesterday. It was pretty good. Quite surprised. I think the human part was really a waste of time. I feel like the whole, like, they spent like half an hour on a wedding that really didn't need to be in there, that they could have just replaced with something else. Yeah, I know, they needed the, quote, key actors, but still, it just felt like a waste. They could have just... I guess, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I was quite surprised. Our theater was, like, very rowdy. It was nice. So we have this place called, like, Alamo Draft House, and they're fucking phenomenal. But usually they have, like, usually they're like a, hey, go take your phones, put them on silent kind of thing. But no, recently they've been like, hey, if you're having fun, we're having fun. So the theater was pretty good. Very unexpected turn, that's for sure. I hope you enjoy it. I really liked it. We also saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was, that movie was a fucking trip. that was a movie. I was not sure where that movie was going. It was all over the place. So it was good though. I actually really enjoyed that. I think more so than I've enjoyed most movies, but, you know, I feel like a lot of movies are kind of samey nowadays, which, you know, that's why I don't see a lot of action films anymore. Not because I don't like action movies, but just because they all feel like the exact same plot, and I can always feel it, like, see it coming a mile away. Everything Everywhere, though. I expected some things, and then I just got completely blindsided by some others, so... I highly suggest it for anybody who likes movies like Kung Pao and Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle. It definitely felt like it fit in those genres very well. Nothing? Not gonna give me a thing? Not gonna tell me I'm too far? I can't even click the I'm at because it has no way to tell me exactly where I am at. So it looks like I am somewhere here, just above these islands. But if that's the case, I should be... I guess I wouldn't show up here if I was so far out this way. So... okay, we'll make that as a correction. People thought the pandemic would kill the theater business. I mean, it kind of did. I mean, not every theater managed to go ahead and come back from it, and a lot of small-time theaters pretty much disappeared. So, the pandemic kicked the shit out of a lot of businesses. And I would say that, it really weeded out those who had their shit together and those who didn't. And any business that was already suffering only went down the drain. Play, they just play horror movies. Well, at this point, we'll find out who really survives at the end of the day. I mean, they still have AMCs and stuff around, and they're still in our area. But there are just movie theaters that I think far and above survived better than others. I think we've come to the point where movie theaters can't afford to just be a single surviving entity. I think they need to expand into multiple things all at once. Such as, you know, Alamo, it does a really good job because it's a bar. It is a full kitchen, so it has food and everything, and it's a movie theater, and you can eat all of that. It's one of those, you know, watch and dine things from back when I was a kid that went out of business that are now finally coming back into style. So, and it has beat the shit out of every other movie theater in our area. Oh god, you're still doing this? Yeah, I mean, of course I'm still doing this. Yeah, I mean, it's a big game. I'm closing in on the edge. Like, I'm getting very close to finishing. I think probably within a week or 2 weeks, somewhere between a week and 2 weeks, I think I'll have this done. But yep, I am still doing it. I am trying to figure out whether I need to go ahead and reload an old save, because I may have run out into the wild. Or not. And I'm thinking that, yeah, I should probably just reload my old save and run from shore. So, yep, we'll just lose some time, lose an hour and a half of progress. Stalks off without saying a word. Cool. And that's the thing that, yep, this is the fix that I had. And it looks like it's at the same farmstead, so. Yeah, let's head on south. Looks like I'm gonna need to... I think I went a little too far out to the west and screwed my thing. I just finished a 2-hour video of watching Star Wars logo cutscenes. Star Wars Lego cutscenes? More time wasted. I mean, at this point, I have already wasted a ton of time. Like, just trying to go ahead and, just trying to get everything fixed. So, at this point, I'm not too worried about wasting a little bit more time. An hour and a half is nothing compared to having already lost 3 or 4 days to a glitch that could have killed my entire run. Or having to go ahead and reload a save from a month ago to fix my file. I think mine survived because they made renovations, got soft electronic lean-back seats. Oh, that's nice. Damn, I hate losing time in these playthroughs, but I mean, it happens. I mean, I can't really help it if I get screwed in a thing where I can't find a place or it gets thrown one place or another, there's not much I can do about it. Alright, let's try this again. And this time we are going southeast. So I am going the right direction. I don't know how the heck I went the wrong direction last time. With a footrest too? Nice. Okay, yeah, so, Knight, if you're still here, this is normally what I would see is this little crosshair that would tell me I just happen to be in a bad place and it wasn't showing me where I needed to be. So if I were to go straight from here, yeah, so I can go pretty much this direction here, head straight that direction, and I should be able to just make it. And I have so much water walk on me. I probably have a literal month of water walk real time on my character. With a little footrest too? That must be nice. They get a footrest at their chairs. At their movie theater. Do they?
They're literally recliners.
Oh. I don't use them because my fucking short ass would get lost. I'd recline in the thing and my feet...
Hang off the end of it. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You fit in the chair.
Oh, can your feet touch the ground?
At least you fit in the chair.
Yeah, I don't fit in the fucking chair. I'm over there looking like a fucking rat in a plastic, like, lawn chair. I'm looking like that frog sitting on the edge of the bench. Cinemark Bluffton? Oh, I've been to Cinemarks before. Cinemark Bluffton. See photos. Yeah, okay, I've been to a Cinemark before. We just crossed over to land. I can hear it. These are nice. Yeah, this is super nice. I like that carpet. Alright. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, I think we actually might have the same kind of recliner chairs. They're like the soft leather ones or the recliner pieces. Yeah, I think we might have the same kind of chairs in ours. Oh, right, I need to switch my gear over to magic gear because I forgot to do that before I ran. There we go. God, that makes so much of a difference. That's crazy. That extra 30% is a huge difference. Just need to cross over here. Then we'll be back in the water again. I should have known when I didn't hit land on the way across the bay. Then again, I think this is the second time I've had to reload my save because I've gone completely the wrong direction, and it was better to just... And it was better to just go ahead and reload it than to try and fix it. There we go. Now we start our actual journey across the water, and hopefully make our way to dry land somewhere. Are you doing this on your own? Okay, so, yep, we are officially now out into the water. Now, all we have to do is just keep on this, and we should eventually hit land. Like an hour and a half from now. Oh, man. Save. I'm gonna make a hard save rather than a soft save here. We're gonna call this Ocean. That. I didn't know what else to call it. I was trying to think of something witty, and I just could not think of anything. What? Me? Oh. You seem very short. Oh, that's true. With the fur. Wait, what? That's like 10 fucking inches. Yeah, 8. That's huge. You reading Twitch too? No, I'm talking to Luft. That's all. Sorry, talking to Luft. She's doing modifications on her VTuber stuff. Getting ready to take it into, Scythe space and all of that. So yeah, so she's getting some of her modification stuff. Excuse me, some of her modifications and stuff done. So yeah, this is huge. I know what you're talking about, but they're ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, they're big, tall. Plus, nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody came up to you and just, intentionally tried to, trip you or something crazy. Because that's the kind of society we live in nowadays. What? I feel like those are the perfect kind of sitting poses.
Yeah.
That's a sitting pose. Okay, so we should be a little bit offshore now. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. 20. Yeah, I normally don't look at how many people are watching or anything. Usually I try not to think about it, because to me, on my side, I actually see more than just one person watching, because Twitch and stuff like that. I mean, it's okay. It's not the most interesting content. 2, it's not always the most entertaining content. And 3, which I think is the most important one of all, The algorithm really does not know what to do with shit like this. Yeah, you're my YouTube. Yep, so it would seem. Also, a lot of people tend to pop on a little bit later, so I've noticed that there are ebbs and flows within our regulars. Usually at the beginning of the week, I don't get so many people, but more towards the middle and end, I do. So people's schedules seem to ebb and flow closer to the middle and end of the week. Yeah, when I'm doing stuff like crossing large, vast oceans and stuff like that, the game tends to be a little bit more boring than when I'm actually on land. So when people see oceans, they just usually don't care for it, and most people don't stay or show up. But when I'm on land, I tend to have a higher view rate. Along with while I am in dungeons and stuff, people tend to stick around longer. But the majority of this run consists of going from one place to the other rather than doing dungeons or things like that, so... Not to talk about politics, but if you could choose one person for president, who would that be? I have not a clue. That is a question I can't even begin to answer. I don't think there is any one person that is going to fulfill the needs that the country has at the moment. That my particular country has at the moment. I mean, your country too, obviously. Like, I don't think there is going to be any one person who can do that. We have too many problems that all need to be solved, and we don't have enough cohesion or consistency. The problem that I see with the American presidential system is that Ron Paul or Rand Paul? Is that who you think should be it? The problem that I see is no matter who you decide or who becomes president, there's a few things that are going to cause problems. Number one, any personal policy that is put into place by whoever is in commander-chief at the time really will not begin to take effect until about 4 to 8 years after they put it into effect. So you only begin to see what a president has done after their first term is up, or after their second term is up, and maybe an inkling of it during the second term of their presidential term. The second is that no matter who you put into place, if the person who comes after them is not also carrying on the work of the first person who went into place, or the first person who came into office, all of the work that they worked on is going to be completely undone, and there's no consistency. So people put policies into place only for them 4 to 8 years later to be completely undone. Which, going back to the first issue, since it takes about 4 years to 8 years for a policy to truly start taking effect, they've basically done nothing because the person after them may undo everything they've done, so nothing actually happens and it just keeps getting canceled out consistently. The third issue is that no matter who gets put into the office, you're not going to have a unified front on either side when it comes to your senatorial decisions. Your Senate and your House is always going to be, like, divided. I can't think of very many commander-in-chiefs that had a united front, or even a house that may have been divided that still was willing to put aside their differences to accomplish something. So, no matter who gets put into office, the problem isn't who you put into office or what that person does. The problem is the consistency and the carrying on of the torch of whatever decisions are made. That's the issue. No matter who's in there, if you follow it through, and if everybody were to follow it through, we might be able to dig ourselves out of quite a few things. But that's why I couldn't even think of one person who could really, truly change anything, because it's not enough time. There is not enough time for somebody to really make changes. That sucks, but I got so excited during the you got very excited during the 2012 Ron Paul revolution. I haven't been excited for, like, a commander-in-chief in a very long time. I haven't seen a candidate who I feel really suits the role for a while. I think there have been some decent options, but I think so far, no matter what options have been chosen, there have been far too many... There's been far too many inconsistencies on both sides. I'd like to go ahead and see somebody who's capable of rallying everybody equally, but we won't have that. At least not for a long time. Okay, are we out in open ocean yet? Not yet. I mean, we are in open ocean, but we are right about here. So we're about a third of the way to our thing. Wasn't even old enough to vote, and he would have voted for him. I don't know enough about Ron Paul, or Rand Paul, excuse me. I don't know enough about any of his policies to really say whether I would have voted for him or not. Yeah, it's... Working in the government has kind of made me jaded towards participating in like, the regular stuff that I can do within society and stuff. I don't really take advantage of a lot of the things that I have available to me as a citizen, because I'm far too busy ensuring that the infrastructure of everything is you know, around, consistent, and moving to really take advantage of any of it, so... What's for dinner? I don't know. I haven't thought that far either. I don't think either of us have bothered to think that far. We're just so involved with our activities right now, we haven't even considered dinner. I don't know. Maybe I think if Luft decides she's gonna go ahead and cook something, maybe I'll go ahead and add in my secret spices today.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. I'm gonna participate in that thing. I'm gonna snap my hands together and wiggle my fingers and actually do the magical help cooking thing. Despite the fact that you hear, like, Luft cooking a lot of the times, I am fully capable of cooking, and I'd like to think I am just as good a cook. I grew up with my dad being a single father, so obviously there wasn't anybody there to go ahead and cook, so, you know, when he was out doing stuff for work, I had to learn to go ahead and cook myself, and he taught me how to use the stove, and he taught me how to use spices and stuff. And as he made me food, I would constantly go ahead and make checks, and I would make my own additions to it. So I pretty much taught myself how to cook, with the help of my father teaching me the basics on how to cook, and then I went on my own merry way. So I'm fully capable of doing a lot of cooking. Despite the fact that you don't, like I said, hear me cook too often. Save on Oceans. Save file, and keep going. So I'm right about here. That means I'm just prior to the halfway point here. Yeah, if we're just over the halfway point, then we should make it, I think, to shore probably within the next 45 minutes. I would assume, anyway. You know, considering that we had to go ahead and reset because it went completely the wrong direction. Yeah, I think losing that hour and a half really sucked, but I mean, it's worse things have happened. Clearly I lost 4 days, so I can't be too mad at it. Next question is, like, so I have the letter in my inventory for this quest, which obviously that's there. I wonder if the quest will pop up in my inventory when I grab it, because I know last time it had that kind of issue, so... we're just going to have to be as consistent and straightforward as we can. Instead of stopping for any other quests or anything else, we are going to straight book it for where we're going. That's going to be the only thing we do. Let me take a quick look, because this'll, yeah, just at the edge there. So yeah, we're about halfway there. So I'm assuming about 45 minutes and then probably another 20. So I should arrive here in about an hour where I need to go. That is assuming everything goes proper and according to plan. I don't fall through the map. I don't get ambushed by who, whatever. Or any number of bullshit things happen. I should be fine otherwise. Excuse me, guys. I'd like to say I slept well, but I really didn't. I remember, like, waking up a few times, saying something, not remembering what I said, and then going back to sleep. Also, hello and welcome to any of you guys out there who are new to the channel. Nice to have you here. Mondays tend to be one of our slowest times, so, yeah. And plus, crossing the ocean really isn't that entertaining. But if you feel like talking, be my guest. I'm not pushy here. I'm not trying to drag you guys into the sunlight or whatever. But yeah, welcome to the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Monday through Saturday is my normal streaming schedule, so feel free to check on my progress anytime you'd like. Alright, we'll go ahead and take a save here. Rest, and hopefully I don't get attacked by some random fish thing. Water walking is great because it treats everything as land, so I can do dumb shit like fall asleep in the middle of the ocean.
I might ask for your justice.
With the mouth?
But I laugh, it's just fucking unhinged my jaw.
You're just like,
I think what gets me is my lips disappear. That's my body.
it's more, I think it's more that whenever you do end up laughing, you know what it reminds me of? It kind of gives that, you get chowder mouth. Chowder, the cartoon? Yeah. When they laugh, their mouth does that big circle thing, and it opens up really wide. Actually, you know what I just realized? You could do the little eyebrow thing. It's like, wow. What big adjustments here? Hey, now that you've discovered it, you think you're gonna be interested in actually doing, you know, bones? I know that I meant like. Just be careful you don't accidentally, like, mess up your model. No, you're okay. You don't have to worry about it. No need to apologize for doing your regular everyday functions. No issue. Spaghetti. Okay, so, for your spaghetti, what kind of noodles do you like? And are you more of a red sauce, white sauce, or mixed sauce? Because I know there's a particular, like, spaghetti sauce that everyone else has, like tomato base and stuff. Like that panic face. The long, I love fresh, tagliatelle and love red sauces. Okay. Long noodles, give me all the sauce. Even better, fresh pappardali. Okay. Good choices. I'm over here being dumb with my fucking bow tie Alfredo or bow tie vodka sauce. I don't know, I just like, it doesn't matter to me. I think pasta's good either way. I don't think I've found a noodle that I don't like. Yeah, I don't think actually, I take that back. I'm not a fan of angel hair. Angel hair pasta is just, I don't know, that stringy feeling, I don't think I've ever had it done properly. It always either tastes too soft, or it always tastes too hard. My favorite sauce is probably the Ragu Genovese, which is a recipe requires from 6 to 12 hours of cooking. Huh. That's interesting. I don't think us Puerto Ricans really have any... We have specialty dishes like mofongo. But I don't think we have any... I don't think we have any big... Well, we do have... man, I wish I could remember what it is. We do have our own beer from Puerto Rico that we make. We make it from tree bark. I don't exactly know how to make it. I'm sure my relatives do. I mean, that's a bottled version of it, but the closest thing you can find is these things called maltagoyas, but it's not exactly the same thing. Because a lot of people actually make it at home, and they do their own sales things out on the street, so you'll find a lot of people who just kind of sell their own bark beer. So, very interesting taste. I wouldn't say it's my favorite taste. I am still, to this day, looking for that beer that I had once in Germany that tastes kind of like banana bread. That I think about all the freaking time, and I always ask everybody if they know it, or if they could recommend a beer. If you guys know any beers that you think is like... I really like sweet beers, and I've been looking for this one beer for... probably, let's see, 2014, going on almost 10 years now, I have been looking for this beer. But I'm always open to suggestions if anybody knows any type of alcoholic beverage that they would personally recommend. Oh, wow. Have you seen the PSVR 2? You want to come take a look at this thing? Got it. Basically, you take a big pot, slice carrot, oil, about 1 kilogram or 2 of onions. Start cooking until the onions become golden, add beef. Keep cooking, and when it dries, you add white wine and go on until you have a brown sauce. Okay. So you're evaporating it out, then putting well, what's it called? You're caramelizing your onions and your beef, creating a very concentrated stock by, I guess, getting rid of the water, adding the wine for flavoring, and also the acid in the wine should tenderize the meat itself. So I can see that, and then you have a brown beef stock. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. I can see it in my head. I can see what you're doing. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm running through the flavors in my head, and that actually sounds like something I could do. I mean, the long cook, I don't know if I could attempt it, so maybe one day I'd have to set aside some time to do a 6-hour thing to cook it, or just let it go. And we do have some pretty serious cookware here. We do have, like, big old lobster pots and whatnot, so... We can do things, we just don't really do things. You can accelerate if you use a pressure cooker. I don't think I'd want to use a pressure cooker. I mean, if it's meant to be done on a long form cooking, then I'd rather just do it that way. Also, I have a tendency to really experiment in the kitchen. I like to refer to myself as an alchemist and not a poisoner. Or who are the people? What are people who make poisons? I know they have a particular name. So let me look this up real quick. What are people who make poisons called? Please don't look me up, government. People who make poison called. Are you looking for a modern definition of druggist? Druggist. What is a word for someone who works or something in poison? Assassins and murderers. I think that's the word you're looking for. That is not the word I'm looking for. There's a term. I guess there is no active term. Like, the closest thing to an old-timey terminology would be an apothecary. But an apothecary is more of a round... Yeah, like, they're a person who deals in the creation of reagents of sorts, whether it be for poison or medicinal purposes. So I guess an apothecary would fit the bill, but technically not. I'm wondering if there is a... Because I can't find any word here that says, hey... Maybe a toxicologist? I mean, I guess toxicologist refers to a scientist who is doing those things. I don't know, let's just call him a toxapothecary. What? A toxicate? What? Why? Hold on. Latin term for... Yeah, that was the original recipe. It was something we had in the 60s to 80s. And Nepalese, when all the condominiums had a doorman, and Sunday he cooked that sauce for the families living there. That's cool. I think when you have like large community pots and stuff like that, we don't have that kind of camaraderie, and we have that in Puerto Rico, which is funny because, you know, when I talk to a lot of Europeans, they have a lot in common with the traditions we have on the island. When I talk to people from like the Philippines or any type of island place, we actually have a lot in common. But we do have a lot of traditions, mainly because Puerto Rico's history consists of American Native Americans, Puerto Rican Native Americans, Africans, and Spaniards, plus, you know, South America. So we have a large conglomeration of cultures and stuff there. So yeah, you'd have one person who would make like a pot on a certain day, and everybody would come over, and the whole community would just show up at the thing and catch up and talk, ask about families and stuff like that. You don't have a lot of that out here in America. I mean, you'd be lucky to get a hello from your neighbor, let alone a bucket of stew or something. Yeah. Yeah, like... Yeah, it's because that's not how it is out here. That's the problem. I mean, if we were in some place more like... So, my dad's old neighborhood, right? He would always make me go out and do everybody's lawns He would make me shovel all of their driveways and sidewalks for free every year. And, you know, they would all come over and we'd talk about stuff, and the kind of community is typical in South Italy, but completely alien to us Northerners. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on where you are and everything. We definitely, in Puerto Rico, it's very different, but here in the Americas, it's, I'm Puerto Rican, by the way. I'm sure it shows now that I've said Puerto Rico like 1.5 billion times. Luft is not Puerto Rican, so... I mean, she may be Puerto Rican, you guys don't know. The Powerpuff Girls! Da-da. For what? But yeah, I'd like to go ahead and make stuff like that, but we don't really have anybody who we could share or whatever with. Okay, so we're at that weird spot where I'm no longer on this map, and I am... Oh. Guess I ran into an enemy. So Puerto Rico is going to become a state or not? Probably not. Puerto Rico itself used to go ahead and vote against statehood. In recent years, I think a lot of Puerto Ricans are leaning towards statehood, and the prior times where Puerto Rico had the option to become a state, believe it or not, it wasn't the U.S. that turned it down, it was the Puerto Rican government that actually turned it down. Which, come to find out, apparently the Puerto Rican government was extremely corrupt and taking bribes from all kinds of places, and any money that was being partitioned out to the government was just being pocketed by those in charge. So this might be why it wasn't a state. So I think a lot of Puerto Ricans nowadays are more inclined to become part of the United States, but I don't think the United States wants Puerto Rico to be part of the United States any longer. So, I think that's the issue. Originally, it was Puerto Rico saying no, but I think now the United States itself doesn't want it. Puerto Ricans are considered U.S. citizens, so somebody from Puerto Rico can come into the U.S. Without having to worry about showing passports or anything else. The same as with people in Guam. I believe Guam, since it is a territory, they are also considered U.S. citizens. So, any of our territories, I think, are considered U.S. citizens. So they can gain the benefits of coming to America or traveling to mainland country without having to do any of that stuff. But they don't benefit from being a state of the actual union. So, all of the benefits of travel, none of the benefits of statehood. It just makes it easy to get into the country, not necessarily easy to do anything with it. $5, that's pretty cool. Do you think your people are more Democrats or Republicans? I really don't know how to answer that. Yeah, Puerto Ricans are... We're called the rainbow people because Puerto Ricans come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Puerto Ricans... It's one of those things when people talk about cultural appropriation, I never know how to respond because Puerto Rican culture is literally just cultural appropriation. We are composed of so many different types of cultures and everything. It makes no sense. The cultural appropriation really doesn't exist about this. Cultural appropriation doesn't really exist as a Puerto Rican for us because, like, if we weren't a mixing pot of cultures like we are, we wouldn't have a culture. It's one of those things that to us it's not appropriation. It's just be who you want to be, like what you like, you know. So I wouldn't honestly know whether they're Democrats or Republicans. I think it really depends on who you ask. I don't think as a whole Puerto Rico has an alignment. I think it's just who you ask. I don't know. I couldn't even begin to tell you. I think if I had to take a guess, I would say a lot of Puerto Ricans are more democratic because they really do believe in, you know, pursuing whatever you want, being who you would like to be, rather than more of a structured belief, if that makes sense. We're in that. Hey, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, now I'm within Sentinel. That's what I was trying to get to. So, shore's within sight. Well, I wouldn't say within sight, but it's definitely there. Well, I'll probably end up sending it to over to my dad to see what he thinks of it too. So. My region is very right-wing instead. Huh. Hello, That is a very interesting name you have there. How are you doing today? Hello, is this Daggerfall Unity? Yes, you would be correct. This is Daggerfall Unity. I was going to play on the original Daggerfall, like the DOSBox version of it, but I had so many recommendations when I was passing through Arena of people saying to do Unity instead of Daggerfall DOS, that I did my research, and eventually I conceded and went for Daggerfall Unity instead. I don't have any mods installed on it. Everything you see is pure, original, good old-fashioned vanilla gameplay. And yes, I am actually this speed due to a ton of enchantments. Vanilla's just very buggy. Yeah, I can imagine. I have fallen through the map plenty of times. So, I am well aware of how buggy it can be. But yeah, I'm actually kind of near the final legs. Currently, for about 4 days now, my game has been, like, having all kinds of glitches and bugs. And it's taken me up until today to finally get everything fixed. Which I'm still hoping that it actually is fixed and not just saying that it is fixed. But yeah. My quests, I'm going to do a quest that I already had, that I already thought that I had completed, that the game gave me the quest, I got the item, went to go do some other stuff, went back to go turn in the quest, and then it deleted the quest and the item that I needed to turn in, which completely bricked my main quest. So, in order to go ahead and get it back on track, I had to do a lot of file manipulation. So for the past few days, I have been trying my best to make modifications to get this back on track. And now, it should be fixed. I'm running all the way down to go get my quest, to run all the way to the top of the map to get the item, to run all the way back to the bottom of the map to go turn in the item so I can get my game back on track. And then I have to head over to Isle of Belfaria, which is going to be another, like, 2 to 3 day run. So yeah. Hey, Burzum, welcome. How you doing? Life treating you well? Ooh, nice. Did they? Nice. But yeah, I think that, so even with the adjustments, because I'm now taking into account the fact that this is probably going to be another 5 days now added on to the gameplay in total. So I'm looking at going all the way down here to this farmstead. I'm gonna have to run all the way back up. So let me run through. That's a day to get here, a day to get back. So that's 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5, 6. Spend some time around here until she says, "Hey, it's okay. Go get the ghost cocaine." 7. I go over here, get the tomb done, and then come back. I don't know if I need to go back or not. So 7. I don't know where it's gonna send me after that. I think I have to go to Wayrest, so 8. Then I have to go over to Daggerfall, so 9, 10, 11, or 12. And then I need to go give it to somebody. And I'm probably gonna go give it to the Underking, more likely than not, when I do my quest completion. So, yeah, I'm looking at roughly about 2 weeks. I should be able to finish the game in 2 weeks. If it hadn't been for the glitch, I probably would have finished the game in a week. But, you know, that glitch really messed it up. And I'm doing perfectly fine myself, aside from the past few days being a nightmare of file editing, trying to go ahead and fix stuff, and figuring out where the hell the quest went wrong. I'm doing fine. It's been a pain in the ass, but I mean, it has taught me that I actually enjoy doing file manipulation and coding, and I think I might actually take the time to teach myself how to go ahead and code. More likely than not, what's going to happen is I'll go ahead and teach myself how to do modifications and stuff. Start by learning how to do mods for Minecraft to teach myself some of the basics, and then I'll move on to more complex coding and maybe try and work on creating a simple game or something like that, so I can teach myself the basics and then move on from there. But yeah, these past few days of poring over nonsensical nonsense and learning what the actual code entails has taught me that I actually enjoy this stuff. Maybe I'll go ahead and actually create a game on my own, and not just wait for a programmer who has a lot more experience than I do. This has just been a long... This has just been kind of a long process here because of the whole hour and a half of completely wasted time. Okay. This is funny. I'm back. It's the bad news. Hello, Shane. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Are you doing okay? I haven't seen you in a bit. I'm starting to get concerned. You missed all the fun of me freaking out because my game was broken. This is such a long run. And a lot of it was just such wasted time today. I think that's the worst part of it. Okay, just to have a fractured jaw because a bastard threw a stone at you. But besides that, you're okay and you can still talk? Shit! Damn. What happened? Obviously you're not okay because, you know, fractured jaw and everything. I remember we had a guy who got in my choir who got jumped, and yeah, they broke his jaw. So I remember what he went through and everything. So I know that you're not feeling the greatest, but I really hope that it gets better soon. I know it's not a fast thing either. Okay, you were saying? Sorry. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I remember once that, I was throwing snowballs with my brother, and then he decided to pick up an ice ball. Yeah, chucked it at me, took a chunk out of my face. Yeah, it was like gashed and everything up there. But as you know, my family has the Wolverine regenerative powers, and thus you can't see it. Yeah. But it's okay. I mean, you know that's just how our family is. If we even, like, suffer from a major injury, we're usually back. I mean, let me go ahead and it's a small fracture, but you can't eat solid foods. Damn, that is terrible. Yeah, are you wired in? Or how exactly do they have everything supported? And I assume you're blending your steaks now, huh? I'll try my best not to make you laugh. Because, you know, that's why I have my camera off, so you don't fucking bust out laughing. Love hates when I insult myself. Wow, this is really funny. So, I had just mentioned I wish I had more pet pics. She's doing calibrations on her YouTube avatar. Okay. So I had just, no, not yet. But they're probably going to, more likely than not. I mean, even as a fracture, they want to keep it in place. That way you don't have any, you know, continual issues with your jaw. And so the bone can set properly. But I wish you the best and a fast recovery. That is not I mean, outside of a collarbone break, that is not a break I would wish on anybody. So, I had just mentioned a couple in the chat, I was like, I can't get pet pics because I can't get the camera on the dog because she does that paparazzi dodge. And as I was typing that, she walked away. I'm supposed to do it on Thursday. Okay. Well, just... What, do you know who did it? And 2 exams to complete, not really exams, some 6-week tests. Okay. Well, I'm at least glad to hear that, I know obviously you're not the most okay, but I am glad to hear that you are alive and doing decently well. I truly, when we don't have our regulars here, like, I personally get concerned when I don't see my regulars. I mean, I know everybody's got a life and everything, but when people suddenly disappear, such as Armand, who was like, hey, I'm leaving Ukraine, and I'm heading back to France, and then never came back in. I do get kind of concerned about stuff like that. I think about you guys all the time, because when you don't pop into my channel, who the hell else is going to harass me, right? You don't count. You don't count. You harass me all the time. They get a limited window of harassment opportunity. Don't worry, I'll be back on the holidays, but maybe, more likely, but it's okay, Shane. I understand, especially considering the circumstances. I'm just glad that you popped in to let me know everything was okay. Even if you only pop in like once a week, it is nice to go ahead and make sure you guys are doing all right. You're far more than just somebody who comes onto the channel. As a regular, I do remember you guys, and I take a pretty healthy interest in making sure that everyone's doing all right. Oh look, personalized name thongs. Just looking at weird stuff on the internet, you know, as usual. Giant inflatable sea monster sprinklers. The only reason why I got this device, because I was doing homework and finished. Didn't really get to get the device on the school days because I had to focus on school. It's a painful existence. Ah, I see. It's cool. I get it. I understand. I had a very strict parent growing up. So, let me tell you about the time where I was pretty much just banned from the internet for a year of my life. Yeah. I get it. I've been there. I know how it is. I know how it be. I know how it do. Whatever the fuck that was. Yeah, okay, thanks, Lynn. Well, at least I have good parents, because I know damn well I would forget about homework if I had this thing. I get it, because I hated homework, and let me tell you about the time that I definitely almost failed, like, 3rd grade because I didn't turn in my homework, and the teacher was going to fail me, and my dad convinced them that, hey, oh, okay. So that way it wouldn't register me as well. Got it. But yeah, I remember I almost failed the 3rd grade because I didn't do any homework, and my teacher was going to fail me, and my dad was like, listen, I'll have him turn everything in by tomorrow. So he came home with this giant stack of papers. He's like, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this right now, and you're going to sit at this dinner table until it's done. And I'm like, okay. So he hands me this stack of papers, and like 2 hours later, I hand him the stack of papers back. He's like, you're done? I'm like, yeah, I already know all of this. I was a pretty cocky-ass child. Man, I remember, let's see. I remember, like, in high school, they used to hand... You know how, like, they have required reading lists and stuff like that? They used to hand me the required reading list. They'd be like, here you go, and I would hand it right back and be like, here you go. They'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I've read all of this. Back, I took a break from ARC. I'm glad to hear it. You're not on your, like, 5th run now, are you? 5th, 6th run? But I would hand it right back to them and be like, yeah, I've already read all of this. It'd be like, prove it. And I would be like, okay, do you need a written report or do you want a verbal one? So, you know, most of the time, I think a lot of my English teachers had trouble handling me because, they couldn't touch me with a book that I probably hadn't read in terms of, like, their curriculum and stuff. I was a really voracious reader. Voracious being, you know, I just read a lot, put it that way. Yeah, they would always have to come up with some custom list, and I'd hand them back some report, and they would be like, what the fuck, you wrote that? I'm like, yeah, I write this. I'm a decent writer, aside from just doing technical writing for the government for, you know, meetings and bullshit like that. I do a lot of writing in my own time. I really enjoy writing. I feel like it's one of the few forms of telepathy you and I will ever really have. Because it's one of the few ways that you'll ever really see what's inside my head. This reminds me of that kid. Today, some kid refused to do any work, always falls asleep, pretends to, but the teacher decides to give an essay and says he ain't leaving class until he finished. Yeah, I always wondered about those kids who would, like, be asleep in the back of the classroom. And then, like, you'd hand them a thing and they would, like, get, like, almost full marks. Or they would... Yeah, but it's one of the, like, those things I never understood how they do it. I wasn't, like... I was a very studious kid. I wasn't, like, I was smart, but not, like, the most smart or anything else like that. So I had to, like, I really had to pay attention to stuff like that. I have bibliographic memory. As long as I write a thing down, I am capable of remembering it. If I don't write it down, you cannot assume I remember it. But if it's written down, it'll sit there and start living rent-free somewhere in my skull. So, that's one of those things. My dad has extremely good memory. I remember he told me he used to, like, look at manuals and then take the test because he could remember the pages, and I'm like, fuck. I wish I could do that. But this kid doesn't even write on tests. In other words, he doesn't exist in the class. So he doesn't take tests. He refuses to go ahead and take the essays. He doesn't do anything. Is he trying to get, like, held back, or is this intentional? Or is he just pretending to be a student? Some guy who came out from the rain is like, hey, I look young enough. Let me just chill in class. Let me put my head down so they don't realize it's me. Oh, you need to talk to my parents? They dead. Alright, where are we right now? We're still a little ways off. Damn, I thought I would make some good headway, but, like, losing an hour and a half in just going the wrong direction, that really sucked. Having to reload and start from scratch, that was a pain. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm probably gonna be off here for today. Shane, I apologize. You've come in at kind of a badish time because, you know, obviously the end of my stream. But for anybody who's new to the channel, I broadcast Monday through Saturday, so feel free to go ahead and stop on in, like, sub, follow, all of that nonsense helps the channel grow. And for you returning regulars, as I've said to Shane, make sure to stop in and just let me know if you guys are doing a live. You guys are doing a live. Anyway, I'll catch you all again tomorrow, and hopefully you guys have a better day. Shane, do your best to go ahead and get your jaw better. I know you only have to wait for your own body to do that, but still. I'll go ahead and, also 5 run gone. Oh no, piranhas. Damn. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, I'll catch you all later, guys. Have a great night, and just remember, when you're